10 Timeless Money Principles from Hadith. In the midst of global economic uncertainty, rising debt, and an overwhelming chase for material wealth, many Muslims are left searching for a path to financial stability that aligns with their faith. But what if the answers were always within reach, preserved in the sacred sayings of our beloved Prophet Muhammad? While these hadith are often quoted for spiritual insight, few realize the profound financial guidance they contain. What follows is a journey through 10 powerful financial secrets hidden in the hadith, secrets that could transform your income, your mindset, and your connection to Allah. I didn't write this lightly. This video is the product of extensive research, nights spent poring over classical hadith texts, hours of study with the works of contemporary scholars, and deep reflection on the Quran and Sunnah. What I discovered is too valuable to remain in books and lectures. It needs to be lived, and by the end of this video you'll understand why. Each point builds on the next, so be sure to watch the entire video so that you get a comprehensive understanding. Let's begin. Number 1. Wealth is a test, not a trophy. One of the first financial truths we encounter in the hadith is that wealth is not a sign of Allah's favor, nor a trophy to parade. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Indeed, for every nation there is a trial, and the trial of my nation is wealth." This flips the modern narrative on its head. We often view money as success and poverty as failure, but in Islam both are spiritual tests. Number 2. The Sunnah business model. Trust plus truth equals barakah. Many people assume that business and Islam are incompatible, yet nothing could be further from the truth. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The honest and trustworthy merchant will be with the prophets, the truthful, and the martyrs." Sunan al-Tirmidhi. This is no ordinary praise. To be in the company of prophets on the Day of Judgment is the highest spiritual rank one could hope for. And how is it achieved? Through honesty and trust in trade. This hadith doesn't just permit entrepreneurship, it elevates it, but only when built on ethics, fairness, and transparency. Number 3. Barakah over burnout. In today's hustle culture, exhaustion is seen as a badge of honor. But the Prophet offered a completely different strategy. "O Allah, bless my nation in the early hours." Sunan Ibn Majah. This hadith is one of the greatest financial secrets most people overlook. The early morning hours are infused with barakah, divine multiplication of benefit. When you begin your work in the early part of the day, your efforts are more blessed, more productive, and more fulfilling. Therefore, start your day early. Pray Fajr, begin with Bismillah, and watch the transformation. Number 4. The spiritual weight of debt. The Prophet Muhammad once refused to lead the funeral prayer for someone who died in debt without having made arrangements for repayment. To some, that may sound harsh, but it reflects how seriously Islam treats financial responsibility. Debt isn't just a number, it's a burden that weighs on your soul. The Prophet warned that the soul of a believer remains suspended until their debts are settled. Number 5. Charity does not decrease wealth. In what might be the most counterintuitive hadith for many, the Prophet declared, "Charity does not decrease wealth." Sahih Muslim. Worldly logic says giving makes you have less, but divine wisdom says otherwise. When you give in charity, you invite the mercy of Allah, protect yourself from calamity, and unlock doors you never saw coming. If you've ever felt financially stuck, consider this. Perhaps your stagnation is not from a lack of earning, but a lack of giving. The hadith challenges us to believe in the unseen, to understand that Allah's system of return is far beyond our calculation. Number 6. Pay your workers before their sweat dries. In one powerful hadith, the Prophet instructed, "Give the worker his wages before his sweat dries." This is more than just advice. It's a principle of justice. Islam insists on fairness to workers, timely payment, and respect for labor. This is in stark contrast to modern practices of delayed salaries, underpayment, or exploitation. The economy we live in often rewards the employer while neglecting the employee, but the Sunnah demands ethical responsibility. Number 7. Simplicity is the Sunnah of the wealthy in spirit. The Prophet, despite access to wealth, chose simplicity. He said, "What have I to do with this world? I am like a traveler who rests under a tree, then continues his journey. Musnad Ahmad. This hadith redefines wealth. The Prophet, the greatest man in history, slept on a straw mat. He gave away whatever wealth came to him. Why? Because he understood something we forget. Dunya is temporary. Simplicity isn't a lack, it's a liberation. In a world that equates self-worth with net worth, this hadith is a radical return to sanity. You don't need more stuff, you need more purpose, and the simpler your lifestyle, the richer your heart becomes. Number 8. Halal risk is safer than haram comfort. The Prophet Muhammad offered an important standard for decisions. Leave what makes you doubt for what does not make you doubt. Sunan al-Tirmidhi. This hadith is a shield. It protects the believer from slipping into haram under the pressure of financial need. When you're unsure about a business deal, an investment or a job, let your heart be the compass, guided by the hadith. Take the halal risk. Say no to the doubtful. Trust in the one who provides. Number 9. Tie your camel. Then trust Allah. When a man asked if he should tie his camel or just rely on Allah, the Prophet replied, "Tie it and trust in Allah." Sunan al-Tirmidhi. This hadith is a masterpiece of balance. It teaches that faith is not passive, it requires effort. You don't get to sit back and expect results without work, but you also don't become so self-reliant that you forget the source of all provision. So go out and apply for the job, start the business, write the proposal, but do it with reliance on Allah, not reliance on your skill alone. Number 10. The real wealth is contentment. In perhaps the most beautiful financial hadith of all, the Prophet said, "Richness is not having many possessions, but true richness is being content." The Prophet wasn't poor, he was content, and that made him the wealthiest of all. Each of these hadith offers more than financial wisdom. They offer a worldview, one where money is not the goal but a means, where work is an act of worship and wealth is a trust from Allah. If we as Muslims return to these principles, we won't just become better earners, we'll become better servants of Allah. These hadith are not abstract ideals, they are actionable steps. You can wake up early tomorrow, you can give sadaqah today, you can choose to walk away from a doubtful income, and in doing so you invite barakah into your life. Let your answer to that question be the beginning of your financial transformation. May Allah grant you halal wealth, bless your risk, and make your earnings a light for you in this life and the next. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love what's next. We have more videos on this topic. Click the playlist on your screen to dive into more financial advice from the Quran. May Allah bless you.